Hey, everyone, welcome to my channel. You ever have that moment where you're so sure about something until one product just makes you question it all? That just happened to me. LG GX9, a 45-inch OLED ultrawide that kind of flipped my expectations on their head. See, I've been using LG's 32-inch dual-mode monitor at home for months, and I love it. It's fast, it's sharp, and I can switch from 4K work to 480 Hz gaming with one button. I thought, hey, this is as good as it gets. But then this ultra-wide version showed up, and now I'm not so sure anymore. Let's break this thing down, because whether you're editing videos, working on spreadsheets, or trying to clutch a rank match in Valorant, this monitor has a story to tell. 45 inches of OLED wrapped into an 800 R curve. It literally wraps around your field of view, and when you sit in front of it, you feel immersed. It's like the screen is reaching out to hug your attention. But what really stands out isn't just the size, it's the resolution. We're talking 5120 by 2160, which, to be clear, is a 5K resolution on an ultra-wide. That's a huge step up from the usual 3440 by 1440 you see on most ultra-wides. And yeah, you can tell. Icons are sharper. Text is cleaner. Even the Windows UI feels premium. It's like your desktop went from standard definition to high-res cinema. Just like my 32-inch model, the GX9 can switch between high-res 5K at 165 Hz to 1080p stretched across the same screen at 330 Hz. One button. 2 seconds. Boom! It's a whole different experience. You want to be productive? Stick to 5K. You want to sweat in ranked Overwatch? Hit that button. And suddenly everything's moving smoother than a hot knife through butter. And here's the wild part. It's usable. That 330 Hz mode isn't just a gimmick. You genuinely feel the speed. It makes a difference in how you aim, how you react, especially in fast-paced games where every frame counts. If your table is less than 80 centimeters deep, you're going to feel like this thing is right in your face. But if you've got the space, oh man, it's a dream setup. You sit back, lean into the curve, and everything just feels right. It wraps around your vision without overwhelming you. And because it's OLED, even the edges stay sharp and vibrant. No weird fading or color shifts. If you throw it on a monitor arm, it genuinely looks like a floating piece of glass. It's sleek, elegant, and doesn't scream gamer at you, which I absolutely appreciate. The pixel scaling between resolutions, it's just not great. When you go from 5K to 1080p, things get a bit soft, and worse, the smaller screen modes are borderline unusable. This is the exact issue I had with my 32-inch dual-mode monitor. The math doesn't add up the way it should. 4 5K pixels should scale down cleanly to one big pixel at 1080p, but here, it just doesn't. Even Asus has nailed this with their dual-mode monitors. So I really don't know how LG keeps fumbling it. You can drop the screen size down to simulate a 24-inch esports monitor, but the scaling makes it fuzzy and kind of meh. Super unfortunate, because the idea is brilliant. The execution? Not quite there. This OLED panel is stunning. 265 nits full white brightness. Great HDR performance. Even though the peaks aren't crazy high, they're still enough to make light sources pop, especially in darker games or cinematic moments. And color accuracy? Let's just say this. Factory calibrated to 6540 Kelvin with a delta E of 0.1. That's basically perfect. Nothing looks too blue, too red, or washed out. It's accurate, balanced, and beautiful right out of the box. 0.1 milliseconds response times. 0 ghosting. No motion blur, unless your eyes can't keep up. And that's not a figure of speech. It's literally just your eyes doing the blurring when you pan across. If you're playing esports titles, the 330 Hz mode is fast enough to keep up. Is it the ideal screen for competitive players? No, it's still a 45-inch ultra-wide. You'll want to push it further back than a typical monitor. But is it usable for fast-paced games? 100%. I've played Apex, Valorant, even CS2 on it, and it's way more playable than I expected. And the field of view? Oh, it's a treat. You see more. You feel more. In open-world games, it's insane. In shooters, it gives you that little edge, though yeah, sometimes the kill feed gets shoved too far off to the side. The GX9 comes with DisplayPort 2.1, which should be amazing, but it's not. HDR didn't work reliably. Dual-mode switching was buggy. Sometimes it just wouldn't cooperate at all. HDMI 2.1? Flawless. Everything just works. HDR, refresh rate, dual mode. So yeah, weirdly enough, skip the DisplayPort on this one. and stick to HDMI. If you're someone who spends the day editing, working, creating, and then unwinds with a few hours of gaming, this is perfect. It's not just a monitor. It's a workspace, a canvas, and a gaming rig in one screen. But if you're all in on esports and you need that razor-sharp 480Hz edge, the 32-inch dual mode might still be the better call, especially if you're used to smaller screens and faster frame rates. This ultra-wide, it's more of an experience than an advantage. It's expensive, no way around it. But when you factor in the OLED panel, the resolution, the refresh rate, the design, the productivity boost, and the gaming capability, it kind of makes sense. You're getting what feels like two high-end monitors in one. And if you've got a 4090 or maybe a 5080, and you want a screen that matches that horsepower, this is the one. But LG's GX9? Yeah, it made me rethink that. If you're all about that high-res productivity and jaw-dropping open-world visuals, this might be the monitor to beat in 2025. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Would you drop 2K on something like this? Or are you sticking with your dual-screen setup? Thanks for hanging out.